All right, folks. So before we take a deep dive into any of the specific topics of U.S. history, we're going to first talk about some of the more founding ideals as a way to reflect on whether or not our country is doing as good as it could be. So we're going to talk about the preamble. If you're familiar with the preamble, it's the introduction paragraph, more or less, to the United States Constitution. It reads, "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America." So, as you know, the purpose of an introduction paragraph is to explain what you're going to be doing in the rest of the paper. The founders, when they wrote the Constitution, created this preamble as more or less an explanation for why they were doing what they were doing. They were doing this to form a more perfect union. They were trying to make a better country. The things that they list after this, establishing justice, ensuring tranquility, providing for the common defense, all of these are important ideas in America and things that we would like to think the government has a responsibility to help do. So if we have a government that is doing a good job, theoretically, all of these things will have happened. So what I want you to do is we're going to rate how well we've lived up to the ideas of our founders. So you have a number of the different ideas here on the page. You're going to rank how well we have met those ideas. So, for example, the first one, is the United States of America a just country? You'll notice that I've linked these two definitions in case you are kind of questioning your understanding of the word. If I were to go to this link and open the dictionary, we would see the definition: agreeing with what is considered morally right or good, or what I think is more important, treating people in the way is considered morally right. If we were to talk about law, they got a just punishment for the crime, what's deserved and appropriate. So if we were to think about the ads, whether or not America is just, this is more or less, are people in America getting treated the way they should? Consider it from the perspective of the law. Is the government treating everybody the way that they should? Are the forces of our government treating everyone well? So you're going to mark with an X whether or not you think it's just, not just, or very just, anywhere along this line, and then explain why you think it is the way it is. If you think America is not a just country, if you think people are not being treated fairly by the law, you're going to explain why. If you think that America is a just country and that people all have fair treatment by the government, you mark it there and explain why. Anywhere on the continuum you choose to mark it is fine, just make sure you explain it. I'll run down all of them real quick just to make sure you understand the question. But same thing for all of them. Mark along the line where you think they fall and explain why. Is the United States of America a tranquil country? If you are familiar with the word tranquil, sounds like tranquilize. This means peaceful. Is the United States a peaceful country? Number 3, has the USA secured our common defense? Are all Americans safe? Is our government protecting us as a country? Number 4, let's use the word welfare. As the USA promoted the general welfare of our country. If we're talking about welfare, most people associate that with government programs that support people. If somebody's well off, then their welfare is good. So I would say promoting the general welfare would mean that all Americans feel happy, healthy, and successful. Do all Americans feel like they are doing well? No, yes. Make sure you explain. And number 5, has the USA secured the blessings of liberty to all people in our country? Has the government of the United States done enough to make sure that all people feel free? We like to think that freedom is an important ideal in our country. Are Americans free? It's the question I want you to answer. 1 to 10. Don't forget to explain why. Pause this anytime you need. I should have mentioned that before. All right, so after you've ranked all those, our summative thoughts are, based on your rankings above, have we formed a more perfect union? Has the United States, in the decades that we've been around as a country, have we become a more perfect union? Have we become a country that is tranquil, that is just, that lives up to ideas of equality, fairness, etc.? Make sure you explain your answer. Now think a little bit more deeply here. Whose job is it to make our union more perfect? The Constitution, the founding document of our government, makes it sound like it's the goal of the country to become more perfect. Who is the one who we really hold accountable for doing that? Whose job is it to make America better? And not knowing what you are going to put for number 7, I'm going to ask you, what can you as an individual do? What can you do as an individual to make our union more perfect? You need to tell me, is there anything that you can do? Here's my daughter. Hold on. Sorry about that. Where was I? Okay, so our last question. You just need to tell me whether or not you can do something to help make our country better. Unless you think that our country is perfect, then hopefully you think there's something that you could do. All right. Make sure that after you've finished this, if you have any questions, you email me or ask me in class. Take care, everyone.